Hello friends and welcome back for episode 11 of our Rogue Legacy Let's Play. Today, we are going to be looking forward to a little bit more action, hopefully making our way towards the second boss, and addressing some of your comments, and there's been so many, and I do want to get to one of them right away. There you go. I've hit the training dummy. I did find it kind of funny, though, that at the top it says, like, all these little funny things. It hurts so much, I give up, ouch. Stop it, why did you do this? Oh, okay, that one hurt, nice try. I saw, do you even, oh yeah, dost thou even hoist? So there's a good sense of humor in this game if you didn't know already. So we're a level 66 Hokage. We've got the power to hit extra hard, although at the loss of, I believe, crits, and we've got some axes to go around. We're gonna just, do our best here and see where it takes us. I know things have been maybe falling behind a little bit from where I should be. I also want to mention, yes, I know about the teleporters. Largely just me forgetting to use them, honestly, but, like, no reason to get bent out of shape. I mean, just wandering around for another couple moments isn't going to be the end of the world, I don't think. I'm not super worried about the episodes if they run a little bit long, perhaps, which is actually a factor of this one, is I actually have to set up my little clock there, so sorry, I'll do that real quick. I forgot to do that. I'll just run back and forth for just a moment while I open it up. There we go. And we're off. Alright, so we've got some gold, we've got some demons, we're one-shotting pretty much everything in the castle, which is where we should be. We should be one-shotting pretty much everything in the forest as well by this point, I believe. That was inevitable. And with a little bit of careful platforming and movement, maybe we can avoid taking tons of damage. I do want to admit I didn't quite understand how the whole Lich thing worked before. I know I've picked Lich quite a few times, but you've mentioned on more than one occasion that I should have been swapping my HP and MP at opportune moments, and I failed to do so. And that was just mostly because, like I said in another thing, I forgot if it was in the video itself or in a comment, that I often just forget like what any of the abilities are even. I just sort of play everything like the usual, like, Berserker class, or Barbarian, I should say. And there we go, we've got some spike balls, zombie action, and I also want to make sure I spend a little bit more of my hard-earned gold on perhaps buying some of the attack up skills. I think that's probably going to be important, and I know that the blood gear is not going to be important long term, so I'm probably going to abandon that at some point. I just wanted to try it out, see how those runs go. I think so far they've gone better than I expected, so I'm not really upset about it. I'm not really sure I have enough, really, other than the blood gear right now to really justify switching to anything else. But we're just going to keep collecting some money and see where it takes us. I'm sure some runes will come along eventually. I think that's something that we should probably depend on. I think the whole thing about the not getting any cape runes, from what I can tell in the comments, seems like that was just a fluke. I probably should run into a cape rune, and I know you guys have mentioned locking down the castle a number of times, also a thing that I would consider doing. Although I don't get too worried about it. If I miss a fairy chest or something, I'll just, find another one in short enough time. Also, a little strange, you guys are suggesting that I don't jump to try and hit the targets for the axes. Oh, here's a fairy chest I can get behind. Just destroy all enemies. I'll give it a shot. So yeah, if I don't jump, I don't think I'm able to hit all the targets, so I think I pretty much have to jump. Holy crap, this is terrible. There's, like, not a chance that I should have gotten this low in health. And now I'm set up in a position where if I misjudge and have a particularly bad moment, I could actually find myself dead. I think all I have to kill left is just this guy down here. And we should be good to go. Alright, what did I get? Skyrune chestplate. The streak continues. Amazingly enough. I have no idea. Maybe I'm the only person on all of YouTube that has gone this far without finding any cape runes. It's just absolutely astonishing to me. No jumping. Oh! Crap. I can't do this without dashing, can I? So this is an instance when you guys would say I should lock down the castle and come back with a dash rune. Another thing you guys have recommended I get on a number of, occasions. I can't not jump and fly, so I guess that one's just out of the question for me. This could be interesting, or maybe I'll just, whatever. Probably could have gotten that gold while I was there. Oh look, it's the carnival again. So I guess does it always give you the axe? Yeah, it always seems to give me the axe. And when I played this before, it was always the daggers, so I don't understand what changed. Somebody also said I could use, if I'm a barbarian, I could use my shout ability to beat these. I think they patched that out, so I may be incorrect. See, this is what happens if you don't jump. You miss these 2 top tiers. It's just not possible. But maybe there is a pattern that I can use that will grab more of them. It might be something like that, actually, if I can nail it just right. Although this definitely wasn't it. 89 again. Awfully close. I really do want to win this. I was a little disappointed that somebody actually explained what the prize was. I kind of didn't want to know that. And also somebody explained in another comment what happens when you get all of the runes. And yeah, I don't want to spoil that for you guys either in case you didn't see that. Alright, Lisa slipped. Unfortunate times abound. I've got a Spell Thief. I don't know, maybe I should play as the Spell Thief. I don't think I've played as one of those before. With PAD and Gigantism. How much gold did I even end up with? I don't think it was that much. 1,464. Alright, well. Somebody did mention nobody on YouTube seems to be playing a, like, primarily spellcaster. I don't know if that's a testament to the style of the game this turned out to be. Maybe people just prefer melee style, but I don't know. I personally do myself. So there's an attack up. And I'm not sure what I'm going to get out of playing as this class. Oh, wow, I look pretty fancy, I have to say. Super slow, though. And we've got this rune here. Also recommend that I switch to balance. Maybe that's something to consider. More so than vampirism. I just sort of liked theming the run. I thought that was kind of cool. So let's experiment here. What do I have? Well, I've got the sword ability, which is cool, but I guess I'm going to spell thieve things away from people. And what do I can't buy this, can I? Want a cool fact? I'm crazy. Exactly what your ancestors went through. I've never actually done this so far. Skills aren't free. If you lock the castle, it'll take 40% of all gold you earn. That sucks. No, I kind of don't, actually. Sorry, I also didn't have enough to get a dash rune anyway, so it wouldn't have really been for any reason in particular. Alright, let's see what my abilities turn out to be here. I would love to get a whole bunch of gold. And I have a feeling this isn't going to be the run for it to happen, but I did at least want to try this. See how to spell thieve. I just get tons of MP, is that really all it's about? I mean, with this particular skill, having the shield, or the blade wall, I mean, it's a useful thing to have for sure, but I'm not sure if it's the kind of thing that can change a run from being average to being really good. I don't know, we'll see. Try and avoid as much of this damage as I possibly can. I'm super big, though, so I'm not sure if I can even traverse... Oh, my hitbox isn't, though, so I guess I can just walk through that. I figured my hitbox would be as big as my character model, or thereabouts, so I'm still two-hitting stuff in the castle, which is real pathetic, actually. Trying to play a little bit less manically, although with all the projectiles all the time, it's kind of hard to do so. Oh yeah, and I have PAD, so I don't have to worry about spikes getting me for once, which is kind of a nice bonus. I imagine there's quite a few instances where fairy chests are going to be much easier to get if I have PAD, and don't have to worry about the ground swallowing me up whole in one form or another. That was a pretty weak chest, I have to say. Alright, so this looks like a dead end. I guess that's going to leave us to go back in this direction. If I were to proceed over to the right real far... Oh, right, probably shouldn't have jumped up there. Yeah, the PAD helps with spikes, doesn't help so much with fireball traps. I don't know why I got those two confused for a moment. And my hitbox is super tiny compared to what hits me there. I kind of like it. So there's a health and MP up. Don't really need it, so might as well leave it for now. Oh, hello. Oh, you've got tons of bones inside of you. Alright, that didn't come out right, but hopefully you understand. We've got platforms. Oh, take no damage. Alright, this could be a real challenge again. I know I've seen this challenge a number of times. So far been completely unsuccessful with it. It's probably going to be even harder that... Yeah, well, there goes that. Since I'm gigantic, you know, doesn't really help matters much. Yeah, chicken leg. Gonna sit on the spikes for some reason just to torment me. A little chest in here. Should be able to grab that just fine. Probably use a few spells, eh? Yeah, well, they probably don't want to run into them anyway. this even help me, really? It doesn't. I guess what I was picturing a Spell Thief to do, and maybe this is actually what they do, and I just haven't seen it yet, but maybe, you know, you find one of these ice guys, and then all of a sudden you have, like, ice bolts or something. I thought maybe that would be kind of cool. That isn't going to really do much for me, and I'm dead! Alright. Completely kind of a pathetic run there. I really need to stick to dudes with plenty of health. That is how I've built myself so far. Oh, I also understand how the Lich works to a better degree than I did before. I think I'm going to go Assassin, perhaps. I didn't realize that there was an HP cap, so every time I was performing poorly with the Lich, I was running into, I guess, you know, a ceiling for what my HP could be. And as I didn't realize that, I just kept trying to keep building my max, and it wasn't working out. What's up with the Silver Helm? Maybe I want to get the Silver Helm, because I have, like, a pathetic amount of health right now. Instead of run with the Blood Helm. I mean, it just seems like the right idea, since it's Tier 2. I believe the tiers work that way anyway, from what I've been able to tell. And what do I have for runes down here? Maybe I could buy that Dash rune you guys want me to get so badly. What are they costing again now? They're, oh, $12.25. Alright, that's a little bit beyond what I thought it was going to cost. I do have a sprint rune, but I don't have sufficient financial backing to support that decision, unfortunately. And I don't believe there was even a single thing over here in this list that I could pay for. So we are at the point in the game now at, what is it, level 67, where if I don't get basically 1,000 or more gold, I am going to be completely worthless and give mostly all of my gold away to Charon, or Charon, or Chiron, or Sharon! That's Aussie. No, that's not who I mean. Alright, so chicken legs, that's not a good way to start, because I didn't need them right there. But, you know, I'll take them anyway. Lots of chicken legs. I guess the assassin is the hungriest class. Me so hungry. I really like chicken. I could eat chicken all day. Well, most days. I want a famous bowl, actually. I think I could go for one of those right about now. That is a pathetic amount of gold you just gave me, Chess. You should feel ashamed of yourself. That you existed to protect such a measly amount of money. I bet the chest cost more than what was contained therein. Nobody ever talks about that part of the RPG archetype world. You know, chests themselves cost quite a bit of money to create, and are usually quite expensive and time-consuming and impressive to make. You know, the amount of time that these artisans put in, crafting the wood and oiling it and laminating or staining it, and all the metal work that goes into it, the locking mechanism, you know, it's got to be pretty thick and heavy, otherwise people are just going to break right into it. Nobody thinks about all of that stuff that goes into making a chest. You know, it's all about what's inside, what's inside. Nobody ever says thank you to the guy that makes it. So this is me saying thank you, chest makers of the world. Wherever there's an amazing chest ahead, I'll have you in my thoughts. Any? Wow, not a single one, huh? I guess this room was not trapped the way it usually is. Alright, down we go. My tiny size should definitely help me with avoiding some of these things, but these blood bolts go right through the walls like they don't even give a care. They may not, honestly. I mean, I've never asked. I'm going to be real disappointed if I don't make my way over to the forest at some point in this run. Be, you know, a little sad, considering that was, like, my main goal for this run. Make a little bit of progress, see if we can get some gold, a few more stats, and try and make our way over to the forest. I haven't really been designing my character as much with progression in mind as just, like, sheer grindiness at the moment, I suppose. So I need to maybe transition a little bit into that form of thinking. And I know you guys in the comments have been thinking that way, so I apologize if that's been a little frustrating. But, you know, I play the games the way I play them, it seems. I have my own characteristics. I may not have, you know, crazy talent in the ways of platforming and, you know, agility and dexterity, but I think I can hold my own most of the time. It's just all about the meta strategy that I think is where I usually get caught up, if anywhere. And, well, if anywhere, like, there's a point where I don't get caught up, but I pretty much always do. Okay, well, that was pretty silly of me. Let's just see if we can find any shortcut passages or secret areas. I'd love to run into some more runes. I'd love to complete one of my whole sets of runes if possible. And I should probably use my assassin ability occasionally, which I believe lets me avoid hits, if I read the comments correctly. You know, avoiding hits is a very important part of not dying, and it's something that I really could do to learn quite a bit more about. The not dying and the not taking hits, honestly, both. Aside from that, I think a lot of my issues have been coming from also constantly being barraged with all these other classes that I don't think I'm really prepared to deal with. Oh, and I also do want to lampshade the fact that I understand finding a teleporter does mean that I'm about to enter a new area, so I don't need to necessarily risk going down there and hurting myself, although I did anyway just for fun, for you guys and your benefit. I get a lot of these things, I get the tropes, but I don't always overtly say them. Maybe I need to take the time to do that more often. Is this really what we've got here? This is a completely empty room. I don't see any sparkles, I don't see any chests. I guess it is. Alright. Yeah, I understand, like, you guys can't read my mind, so I kind of need to say some of these things out loud. But sometimes at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, it is fairly obvious. You know, the teleporters would break up the areas from a game design perspective. I hope you guys get that I am somewhat more than average in the analytical department when it comes to gameplay and game design. So, you know, the gameplay construction side of me says that probably does make sense. Anyway, enough harping on that point. I just wanted to say sometimes I do get things that I don't talk about out loud. It's an interesting place being in the mind of someone who is actively playing a game and trying to be dexterous and also thinking of things to say, because you end up in these really strange moments where you just have no idea where your monologue is going to take you. And oftentimes, it takes you in places that end up being not exactly the most practical places for the people watching. You know, if you have another point to make, but you're in the middle of making what you feel to be at the moment an important point right then, oftentimes you won't just discontinue your thought process to interrupt it with some other equally irreverent thought process. You know, so you end up just kind of going past important stuff that you just forget to go back to because all of a sudden, you know, new thought processes abound, and anyway. Tangents abound is really what we're at. This is a Tangents LP. There we go. Oh, that was not what I meant to do. I wanted to swing my sword. Instead, the attack animation is still going on, and I just wound up running into that portrait. Portrait of Rune. Well, I'm doing fairly well on health. My gold is fair. It's not great, it's not bad. The amount of damage I'm taking per hit, though, is definitely on the abysmal side. I did not see the arc of that bone to be quite that shallow. I actually expected it to be quite a bit further out. The arc of the bone. Covenant. I don't know. Seems like a Dark Souls thing. Oh wait, I have to remember to hit all those vines. And we got slimes. What is this, Terraria? Am I right? No, we've got eyeballs, we've got slimes, we've got a lot of repeats of some of the enemies from previous areas, but with like slight twitch, not twitch, but like slightly twinged color palettes, tinged maybe is more the word I'm looking for. Things that existed in the castle that are now dyed orange or blue, or are larger or scarier. Defeat all enemies. This is exactly the kind of chest that I like to find. This guy might be a bit of a pain in the butt. Oh, there's actually not too much going on in this room. Maybe I do have a chance of not taking too many hits here. If I am vigilant. I love being vigilant. Alright. So vigilant, I am a vigilante. I don't think that works that way. Opening the chest we found... Oh my goodness, it's our first cape rune. I'm so excited. Thank goodness. Alright, thankfully, though, it is still not really a particularly useful cape rune, but, you know, it's something. Something that I can say I now have one. So... yay for us, we made it to the point that I was looking forward to getting to for such a long time. Excuse me. Yay, you need to open up a portal to Rockland over on the spikes? That's not going to help you out. Silver chest plate, alright, a little bit more gear. I feel like I am very under-geared, honestly, for where I am in the game. Partially, that's because I was spending such an amount of time and emphasis on getting this blood gear. I mean, in turn, it wasn't that much time, but over the course of 3 episodes, which translates to 3 days for you guys, it feels like a while. To be honest with you, I actually haven't done a recording session in Rogue Legacy since I did, what was it, episode 7. So I did 7, oh no, sorry, it was 8, 9, and 10 all in one run. And then from here on to, I don't know, probably 11 to 13 or something like that will be all in one day as well. So, yeah, the time in the world is a little bit distorted. And Solaire can't even help us, unfortunately, in this case. Got Angry Skulls, Fury Skulls. And we're probably going to run into the boss room pretty soon, I imagine. It seems like we're spending a lot of time going down. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Oh, plenty of gold there. 3,400, that seems like a pretty good haul so far. I would really love to take a boss kill with us on this. We'll see how that goes, though. I feel like I'm probably still not adequately equipped for that. But I would really like to start moving on to the Maya. Just because I feel myself getting too far behind, you know? I don't want to lag. And cause you guys any grief by me wandering around grinding. You know, I don't really know if it's going to be a grindy episode until after I've finished recording it. So there's always that little bit of mystery when we start something up brand new. You're going through at the same time I am. And, oh, well, we might not make it to that next fight. I'm trying. Oh man, I gotta not run into things. It's really, really difficult for me. Fury, excuse me, I'd love to go to the end of this area and grab all the gold out of this chest. Thank you very much. Almost to 4K. I keep thinking I'm gonna end up standing on those stupid rocks in the background for some reason when I jump near them. They seem to have a different level of, like, backgroundiness to them. It's a very important thing to consider when you're designing a game is, like, you have to have this inherent readability for what the player should feel like they can interact with, and I think a really good example of game design that emphasized that is, you know, essentially a lot of things that I've done in Super Meat Boy, or a lot of things that I've seen in Super Meat Boy, not that I've necessarily done. But there's a pretty large impetus to want to make the background very dark in contrast to the foreground. Just because in Meat Boy, you're really struggling to read the level like a sight read most of the time. And you don't want to give the player any problems with that, because it is, you know, pretty important to your enjoyment of the game to be able to run through it quickly. So the longer you have to spend doing trial and error with that kind of thing, the more frustrating it tends to get. I thought that was going to be my death there. I hadn't seen how much vampirism I pulled off. If I could get one good, like, barbarian run, I'd probably be happy. Even if we don't make a ton of progress this episode. You know, I'd love to make progress, and I always strive to. But in essence, we are always making progress. That was a silly corner I just stood on. Can I do that again? I love replicating bugs when I can. I think that was a bug. You just sort of glitched out a little bit. Anyway, it's on the replay. You'll see it. Well, you saw it already, actually. You know, transience of time. It's a weird thing. Alright, to our left, we have... nothing much. We just got a red skeleton, which apparently I can one-shot from a crit. I wasn't expecting that at all. And it looks like my health has mostly regained back to full, which is another thing I wasn't expecting to happen at all. We just keep running into more chests, so I'm going to try and capitalize on that. And what I can do if it, you know, becomes a point of contention and stresses us out enough to want to do it, if I find... that I've explored most of the forest, I could try locking down the castle on the next run, try and just take on the boss directly, see where we are in our standing on that particular thing. So we need to make our way back up and up and up, mostly. Alright, we can handle it. I haven't found nearly as many secret cubby holes as I would have liked. You know, an interesting thing about, I was just mentioning, like, foreign background shading. These particular platforms give the indication that you can drop below them by the fact that they're shaded quite a bit. But they seem to be sufficiently shaded as to almost appear like they're behind where this tree would be. If that makes any sense. They almost seem like, if you're looking at a hierarchy of layers, that they should probably be even further back than they are. And then you've got these strange moments where there's these tree branches which are actually lit with the same degree as the foreground tiles, so there's the same shade of green as what we're actually standing on, represented in a background that's further behind this platform right here. Not sure how I would have solved that problem necessarily, but it's just something that I like to point out. Maybe a little bit less intuitive than the developers would have liked, I'm not sure. But, you know, personally that would bug me a little bit. So it's always a good idea to keep things very clear when it comes to that sort of thing, and it does make sense that you would want to shade the platforms that you can jump down from. It's just only when you get the interaction between those platforms and the foreground and then other background platforms. Holy junk, this room looks like a nightmare, but I kind of want to fight it because I'm crazy. I just have a feeling if I get enough size in there, well, I don't have a lot of size to give, apparently, so never mind. Let's just avoid all the traveling by bones we're about to do, and by traveling, I mean dying by. See if we can group these suckers all together in one spot, get a few crits off, and maybe, just maybe, we'll live to tell the tale, and it looks like we have. And we've got a Silver Bracer blueprint as a reward for our vigilance, and I'm pretty happy that we found that. So we're starting to get a little bit further into the silver tier. Seems like a good place to be, especially since I was just complaining about maybe the blood gear isn't where I want to stay the whole time. I know plenty of people have told me in the end game that is definitely not the wisest of places to be. Where did that slime just... Oh, it jumped to the next platform. I thought it was about to jump down, and then it just disappeared. We've got bones, we've got skeletons, we've got slimes. Oh my, there's a lot of things going on here. Alright, so far so good. Skeletons are dying in roughly 2 hits. I think I can tolerate that. I think an important thing to keep in mind is when I get to the boss of this area, I want to make sure it will die, or all the subordinates of the boss will die in 1 hit. Otherwise, we're going to end up with this crazy level of spawn that's going on where I basically can't kill them as fast as they're coming in. Always want to not have that happen if possible. So we've got a jukebox again. I still don't think these things serve any real purpose other than just to be a little silly and entertaining. But if they do serve a purpose, let me know. And it always plays Pistol Shrimp for some reason. Alright, so we've reached the boss room, which is kind of nice. That means next time if we want to lock the castle, we can do so. Maybe we find a particularly nice class to play as, and we've got our teleporter right here. Oh, wow, these guys look real big and mean. Maybe I want to fight them? I don't know. 51. I don't think I can probably kill these guys. I have a feeling. Yeah, I'm just going to end up dying if I try to fight them, unfortunately. Fairy chest, take no damage. Oh, this is going to be tricky, but I might be able to pull it off, and if I don't pull it off, I'm probably going to die. If that's the case, though, you know, 6k haul, I could probably live with that, and then we'll redeem that on a bunch of attributes. And then probably lock the castle and see if we can fight the boss a couple of times. I don't know, it seems like a good idea to me anyway. So I'm going to need to fall in there, and then I'm going to need to immediately double jump and try and fly in such a way as to downward spike on that platform. I'm going to see if this is possible. I'm going to hope for the best. Here we go. Ready? Alright, well I didn't die, but I did take damage, and I also didn't realize that was going to end up being a vertical platform instead of a horizontal one, so I pretty much was screwed from the start there, unfortunately. Alright, well, we had a decent haul of gold, at least. That could have gone better, but it could have gone worse, I suppose. I know you've told me a few times, try unlocking the better version of the miner. I could do that, but I probably won't this time. I don't really see a lot of really good choices here for what to progress as. I guess the assassin's probably my best bet, but, you know, not really happy with any of them. A lot of them have a slower startup time from what I've noticed. Oh, I can also pick up a increase on gold gain up, which I think I probably have to do. I think it would be irresponsible of me not to do that, so I'm going to do that. And we're going to check out that silver armor and such just to see where that puts us. Silver chest, plus 11 to armor, plus we get the health back from not having on the vampirism. I think that's probably my next best goal, is to reach that. And then we've got silver limbs, which also give me the plus 8 to magic, and then another increase of health from losing the vampirism. It's a trade-off, for sure, and I know that at the beginning I wasn't exactly clear on my understanding of that the 30 health was coming from the item or the vampirism. I understand that now. It is clearly from losing the vampirism that you gain back that health. So hopefully clearing up many, many misnomers today. And our Cape Rune makes us have harder enemies, if you didn't know that. I did sort of say that one other time in a previous episode, but, you know, might have not been perfectly clear. So let's spend our gold, lock the castle, and see if we can teleport our way over to the boss room. Yeah, we can reach some treasures. Okay, then. Well, I could try that fairy chest again, if I really wanted to. I'm not sure that I would really be in any better position to try it, but, you know, maybe. There's nothing really to lose by doing that. Oh yeah, teleporter, right. Alright, so let's head back over here. I mean, the room was, like, right next to the boss room, right? So maybe I really should do that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you could ask for a much more, centrally located fairy chest. Still, a difficult challenge, although I could You know, I don't want to attempt this too many times if I keep screwing it up, but... Ah, I did it again! I am scumbag central. Alright, let's head back up here, maybe fight these guys. I don't think I can still kill them necessarily, but... Actually, maybe I can. Well, I killed that guy. But if I don't kill the other one, there isn't really anything in it for me. And this guy's real aggressive. I might only have a couple, maybe... Yeah, that was my last hit on that. I totally could have killed him if I was a little bit more careful. I definitely want to try that again. Got a Hokage, I've got a Lich. Man, they keep giving me ones that aren't going to be helpful. Let's just do the exact same thing. 68 health, that's... Or 68, Oh, magic, right. I can't see... I almost went right in the castle, too, without locking it again. Not super concerned about the gold in this run. Really want to just make something happen here. Now, I wonder what you guys think if I walk into the castle and don't go and kill all the furniture. Will you be upset with me? You probably would, right? Maybe a little bit of my OCD tendencies might come out in that as well. So first we would want to try our hand at possibly investigating here. Now, can I teleport right through this? That would be real sweet. No, I cannot. So I have to, like, double jump instantly to be able to not land on that. I was able to get over it before. Oh my goodness, how do I keep screwing that up? So embarrassing. And then I have no idea where my health bar is. Alright, well, it was super small this time. I really shouldn't be wearing vampirism gear if I'm going to try a challenge like this. It's really kind of silly, actually. Barbarian King. Alright, this is what we're looking for. No gold to speak of. Let's trade off what we can. We've got our silver helm equipped. I don't have gold to pay for that, but I can trade back for the armor increase. I think it's probably worth doing, and I can trade... Oh, I still don't have for that. Oh, I haven't bought the Night Limbs. That's weird of me. And really, it wouldn't make that much of a difference other than just to get the original health back. I'd lose a little bit of mana. Whatever, I'll live. And this gives me plus 15 to crit. I think I want to do that as well. I'm just going to get as much HP back as I can. You know, I'm a little bit less bloody, but maybe it's for the best. Now, what if I... Oh, I don't have enough to get to flying. I was thinking maybe I could just go for straight flying. Yeah, there's not a whole lot else I can do, really. Alright, well, I've got the axe. Maybe I could just kill... Oh, I did... Oh, that was real bad. Alright, well, so goes that. Forgot to lock down the castle again. Alright, I guess we're just doing a normal run then. We'll do one more and then we'll wrap things up. That was a bit of a shame. Scumbag Central! Again, I know I've already titled an episode that. Maybe it'll be the sequel, Scumbag Prime, or the sequel, Scumbag 2. I don't know. The Reckoning? The Redemptioning? Revengeance? What is that? Oh, it's this being scared of chickens thing. I didn't realize that they would manifest as actual running chickens. I still get a little bit of vampirism when I kill. 6 HP actually is not that bad. It's just not quite as impressive either, so let's see what our journal has to say about the situation. Journal entry 14. I've been methodically clearing the demons in these rooms in my quest to slay the next guardian. I'm losing track of time and other things. As I entered the tower, I felt time stand still, or perhaps is the vertigo... It is the vertigo talking. That is the... Wow. I was never keen on heights, or was I? I am finding it increasingly difficult to remember my past, and that is that. I guess we've gotten so deep into the castle, we're having trouble staying clear as where we came from, or something like that. Seems like my... Oh, okay. Well, you're just gonna die on the spikes then. My ability to hit things seems like it's doing a bit better. Maybe I can take on something a little bit harder this time. Axeman, there we go. You gonna charge me? It looked like you were gonna. Yeah, just knock you back a bit. Holy junk. I don't have very much MP, do I? Really can't do that more than once. Yep, I knew you were gonna dash. You're gonna dash again, huh? Alright, there you go. Oh, I didn't realize that guy was a big bad. And I got 650 gold from a diamond. I didn't realize there were diamonds in this game. Neat. Alright, what's up in the middle here? couple little stars that shoot fireballs. Not too afraid of those. And over here, this is our way back out. Forget the tables and the zombie. And Vampirism is still helping us out with some pretty good health gain. Down from here, we've got a whole bunch of fireball shooting mofos. Don't want to make my way too far down, or I'm going to end up finding myself in the Land of Darkness. Land of Darkness. Or is he the Prince of Darkness? Yeah, it's the Prince of Darkness. What's with all the Aussie references in this episode? I don't get it. Like I said, being in the head of someone running constant commentary can be a strange experience for everyone involved. Myself included. Alright, pretty good gain on that. I really like having the extra crit chance. I think that's going to help me out a lot in the long run. Those little bits of burst damage, I think, are going to be able to make a bit of the difference when it comes to fighting bosses or large boss-like creatures. I know not everything is a boss, but some things just feel more boss-like than others. Alright, so now is my chance to potentially make good on this flying and double jumping ability. I have gotten one of these before. It may not have been in an episode that I captured on camera, but before, when I was just playing the preview build over and over, I had at least once or twice I was able to get this chest. It really relies on, you know, pretending you're on the Bubble Man stage in Mega Man 2. And going for the gold. There we go. Alright, Haste Rune for sword. Not sure I know what that does necessarily. Do I? Maybe it's faster attack or something? If that's the case, it's probably good. Or maybe just faster speed in general. Going fast is kind of a severely good thing to have on your side, considering, you know, you gotta go fast. It's just the way the world works. In most places, anyway. So, a little bit more fireball in my mind. A little bit more spike balls on my hind. Anyway, let's go to the right. That Mambo number 5, man, just keeps coming back. Almost as bad as Guile's theme, and I'm sorry for that, because now you have Guile's theme in your head. Whoa. A little bit of a lucky dodge there, I have to say. I wasn't expecting there to be some rockets flying at my face as soon as they came up from that platform. They're really not just one-shot. I'm not one-shotting things. Oh, that was 3 hits. That's real bad. I definitely need to work on my attack up. Maybe that'll be our goal. Our goal as we grind gold will be to get more attack up and go for the gold. Now I'm just getting loopy. Let's make some actual progress here. What do you say? Moving on, downward. We've got not much. A little bit of a teleporter, chicken leg, turkey leg, whatnot. I don't know why I always do that. I mean, I know that what's coming, but I just always feel the need to, like, peek down there as if maybe one time I'm just gonna find there's, like, a sweet fairy chest with no challenge to it associated with it, just, like, hanging out. And I can just go grab that and all will be well. That was sort of a poor jump maneuver. I could get used to having a little bit more health. I think that's probably a good thing to mess around with. And probably in the long run it'll be more helpful than having the increased vampirism. You know, I had to experiment a little bit. There is a part of this that, like, I don't know really what the solid strategies are myself. I'm still just trying stuff out, see what sticks. You know, throw a little mom spaghetti at the refrigerator and see what sticks. Sometimes you gotta do that. And sometimes you don't even have mom spaghetti available to throw at anything, really. Throw mom's croissants. You never know. Is that a thing now? I heard it was a thing. I'm not sure I believe it, though. Alright, got a chest full of gold, brimming with gold. Another few vines. You know, the more gold you want to give me, the happier I get. If we could just keep things, like, over 6,000 gold per run, I think we'll be pretty well farmed in short order. And maybe I should have actually taken on the boss, like, all those times I said I was going to before I screwed up and then freaking rolled the castle by accident. Because, like I said, I'm the biggest scumbag known to man, other than maybe J. Smith OTI, although I still don't understand why we necessarily need to call him a scumbag. He's pretty not that scumbaggy. For the most part, I generally don't think he's scumbaggy at all, actually. But, you know, it's a term of endearment, I assume. I have to admit I had to stop watching Northernlion's run of this. Oh, I do see this chest that's hanging out over here. What do we get? Retaliation rune for sword. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, I didn't want to spoil the third boss. Unfortunately, somebody told me in the comments what the third boss was, so it was kind of spoiled for me, but, you know, I'll still sort of... well, I still don't know what to do with it, although I know what it is. Oh, I should probably pray at this and see what I get. Karen's Obol. Okay, let's find out. I'm hoping it just kills everything instantly and gives me millions of gold per hit. It is not that, however, so let's hope it's something else that's real good. Maybe it lets me resurrect. Hey, you get back here and give me all your turkey. I could kill that thing with axes, I guess, but I don't really see a reason to. I'm not going to be able to get anything from it. Oh, well, I gotta go down, actually. This is the proper way to go, and I'll just keep taking hits from friggin' fireballs over and over again. Thankfully, my armor up does make that take quite a bit of, less damage than I was only a few levels prior. Another sprawling, large, open room. We just can't get enough of those, apparently. Another Fury Skull, and we've got teleporting stalagmites, stalactites, depending on where they come from. I think they're always from the ground, though. Guys aren't so tough. Skittering Wolf! You don't scare me anymore. Alright, down we go. Down here we've got just a little bit of gold. Another Skittering Wolf. Okay, he's super gone, so is the Knight. And to our right we have Fury Skull and Archer with Spike Trap. It's kind of like a racing game, you know how you have to like look at the curves coming up and try to anticipate, you know, what the problems are going to be, lean into them a little bit. Maybe you have to do a similar fashion when you see these spike traps and combinations of enemies. See what the best course of action is to take the least damage, and you know, you don't get a whole lot of time to react. Things seem to be coming at you all the time, and you need to just be cognizant of about 10 different things at once. So it's a unique type of skill to be able to handle all of these situations and scenarios the moment you're presented with them, and I'm sure you'll get better with it over time, and, you know, just lots of experience. You'll probably see just about every level layout after not too long, but there's pretty good diversity in what's available here. Why is there a dude just flying through the background? Do you see that? What's going on there? This game is real strange. Alright, I'm terrified of this painting. I could probably kill it. I've heard they're not super hard. Oh, this one doesn't attack me. Don't Shit Your Pants. Development time 2 days. Release date February 16, 2009. This was the first game we ever made, and back then used to be called Decade Studios. In it, you must stop a man from pooping himself using only text input. It was originally designed on a bus, and we decided to make it on the weekend. It did pretty well. Game has a swear word in it, and we were thinking about changing the title to be more friendly, but then our balls grew back, and we stuck to our guns. A big part of the game revolved around making a text adventure that allowed people to input whatever they wanted. To solve this, we had to preempt what we thought people would type. We did this in two ways. First, we reduced the amount of options a player had, a man and a door, and secondly, we built an achievement system which was used to give the player direction. The game revolved around the achievement system so heavily that it was placed into the game over screen progression. Alright, that was a very small but vital change. Okay, well, good to know. Interesting thing. Oh, I can actually kill this guy. Provided my aim is not absolutely abysmal. There we go. And we've got a sprint rune for bracers, so I guess that's kind of a useful thing, actually. The more of those, the better. Not that I definitely need more of them, but just to have them on different equipment is kind of nice. That way I can choose, you know, where I want to spend that. So I guess what it's looking like is going to happen is when I finish this run up, whether I fight the boss or not, I'll probably set myself up next run to hopefully lock down the castle and fight the boss a few times. I've got 6k gold on this run. I don't feel too bad about it. And I believe we should be able to take that boss out. I mean, the patterns for it are not that difficult. I just need to kite it around and have enough damage to be able to take it down. You know, and make sure the little mini bad guys don't pose too much of an issue for me. But I think now we're at like the 45-minute mark, it would be a little bit silly of me to keep starting more runs, because, you know, I do have other things to do. Unfortunately, and those other things, as silly as it might sound, are to record more episodes of Rogue Legacy, so, you know, time constraints are a silly thing when it comes to recording, and also a little bit silly because it's freaking hot, and I want to get out of the place that I'm sitting to record this a little bit and cool down. Otherwise, we end up with crazy dialogue or monologues like I was having before. You go in and out of coherence. It's a problem. I definitely don't do well under heat. Can't imagine, like, you know, musicians end up in that position all the time with the hot lights and everything. Or hot or cold, really, is terrible for a musician. If you've ever tried to play guitar in really cold, like, 40-ish degree weather, which I had to do it once, it was really not pleasant. It just is completely a nightmare. Like, you can't do anything. Your fingers just... they just stop responding to you the way you want them to. You can't put proper pressure down. And if you're trying to play guitar or bass, that's like the only thing you do want to do, and you need to be able to do it quickly and dexterously, or, you know, carefully. Strange little tangent we got off on there, but, you know, hopefully you guys don't mind. I think that is maybe one of the things that makes my gameplay of this game a little bit different or unique, is just the weird crap that I tend to talk about. You know, anybody can play some Rogue Legacy, but not everybody can talk about having their hands freeze while playing guitar while playing Rogue Legacy. This is a thing you don't see all that often, I suppose. So we got the boss room ready to go. I was hoping maybe get a little bit of health back from vampirism before we proceed onward and go into that room, although I think maybe I should just do it. Maybe this will be my last room, provided I don't take another couple of hits. It takes quite a few hits for me to a few kills to recover from each hit. And right now my health bar is at about half, which is not acceptable for me to want to fight a boss with. I may be better off just using this run to try and farm gold now. I mean, we're at 8,200, that's not going to get that much better, I would guess. Oh, well, maybe it will. There's a chest right here. Let's see. Oh, wow, I'm glad I walked around a little bit further. We've got some Ranger Bracers, which I don't think I've gotten anything from Ranger yet. Could be the Lone Ranger. I think that may be the end of the forest anyway. Let's look at the map here. Oh, we've got a couple more rooms to the right. But thankfully we've mapped out most of the important bits, and I do see that secret area right there. I'm not sure if that really is that helpful. It might just be a way to get down quicker, or something like that. Oh, can I get a bunch of Skittering Wolf kills, maybe? If they're trapped in this box, they can't do anything to get me, and that means I can just harvest them for health. Oh, sometimes there's a treasure chest. Okay, there's a treasure chest. Hey, wow. Ranger Helm, alright. I guess it's time for me to get a bunch of new gear. So maybe this is like half scumbag run, half new gear run. You know, progress was made, just maybe not the type of progress that I was hoping to make when I started this. And, you know, this is not bad. Having 8,300 gold is probably close to, if not one of the best runs I've had so far, so maybe I shouldn't be so hard on myself. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys. You're really the harbingers of how hard I should be on myself in general. I would love to not die in this room. That would be a little bit tragic. And we're almost to 9,000. Alright. If I can get over 9,000, then I'll feel really comfortable making that Vegeta joke that we make all the time. There is one more room I can go explore, and it is below us and to the right. Directly to the right, okay. I believe I've cleared this room out already. I'm not sure why it chose not to go this way. Just luck of the draw. Oh, this room. This room's hell on wheels for me. I've never enjoyed this room so far. I would love to get through it one time. Today, I don't think is going to be the right day for that, though. Let's go check out the boss for a minute and see if there's any chance of me somehow cannibalizing enough of those skull heads to raise my health up. I don't know. I don't even think it's close to being possible. But we have made the longest episode so far in the Rogue Legacy Let's Play series that I have been producing, so maybe, you know, maybe you're happy about that. Hopefully you are. Alright, start producing Furies. Oh, and gold, I don't mind that either. Might as well go clear out the room of all the things that I might be able to get. Alright, making Furies means health for me. Doesn't mean any MP though, unfortunately, that's the one downside. And I'm doing very little damage, so the chances of me actually killing this guy are extremely small right now. Although crits, maybe crits could help. I don't know, we'll see. Time will bear out where this will go. And it may not be a very long time, to be honest with you. It may just be a few more moments, in fact. But we'll have a nice setup for the next episode. I think things will start to make sense, progression-wise. You know, I could see myself potentially turning this around had I not just walked into the laser beam. If I had enough MP to start, and I had, like, a really good lucky run of not taking any damage for a very, very long time, and then one-shotting these skulls also is absolutely integral. But, you know, I seem to be able to crowd control them fairly well, which is kind of surprising to me. Alexander is almost at half health, which is totally a shock. Alright, let's see if we can knock back some of these suckers. Nope. I'm gonna shoot your laser again. I'm gonna fire my laser. I'm gonna be over here, so you let me know when you're done with that. I'm gonna let you finish, bud. Finish, bud. There we go. Fury. Oh, I managed to pick up that gold. Maybe I can just kite this guy around ad infinitum. I'd laugh so hard if I actually was able to kill this from this. You know, I never said I wasn't gonna try, right? Oh, crap. One bad jump, and it is over. I think it's over. How is it not over? Shouldn't it have been over? 18 health. I just keep... Oh, there it is. I actually thought the laser beam was slightly lower than the platform, so I don't know. I think I did pretty well, actually, for that, which should have been a real horrible fight. So we do have a little bit of money that we can allocate. Now we've got close to 9,000 gold. And we've got a Spell Thief, a Hero for Experts. I don't want that. I am not an expert, I'm sorry to say. Low stats, land. I keep having the same conundrum of a Lich King, an Assassin, and something else that is not heavy hitting. I would really love it if we could just get off of that concept real quick. I'd love to be able to pick from my own sets here. Oh, so we're back at that same conundrum again. I've got all this gold, and I want to spend it on gold up. Having 30% plus to gold is real nice, but having 40% is even nicer, right? So, I mean, where do I end this trend? I don't know. Let's look at our armor real fast. Because now I've got Ranger Helms to contend with, which is going to give me a bunch more in the HP department. And that's going to give me a whole bunch more armor. 950, what was the gold up was like 81, right? Yeah, 8130. I'm just going to buy it. I'm sorry. I know this is probably real frustrating because I made all that progress and then sort of just threw it away on the gold. But I really think that that's where I need to put that money. I'm probably not going to buy level 5 of the gold up for a very long time, so you probably don't need to worry about that happening again. Yeah, and in a way, I sort of, like, negated a lot of the progress I would have just made there, but, you know, I feel like it was worth it. Hopefully you guys can forgive me for my scumbaggery. But at the same token, also, I do want to wrap up the episode, because we've been going on for a real long time. This is definitely my longest run so far. So next time, and I'm going to lock this right now so I don't forget, next time we're going to pick up from where we left off. We're going to teleport in and fight the boss again. Although, my chances are super low, considering I have very, very little HP. But we're going to try it a couple of times at least, provided I can remember to keep locking the castle. That's kind of a silly thing. Maybe they should just ask, like, when you go up to the door, it should be like, hey, are you sure you want to reroll the castle? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let me know how I'm doing, what you'd like me to do in the future. I think I pretty much explained myself as much as I need to. But, any more questions, comments, concerns, or whatnot that you want to mention in the comments, happy to talk about things in the next, after the next batch of recordings, I mean. So just do keep that in mind. There will be a chunk of recordings from today, tomorrow, and probably the next day, maybe even one after that, depending on how long I keep going. That will not reflect my knowledge of the comments you left on this video, the next video, the video after that, and so on and so forth. So I'll try to let you know those videos where that happens, I guess. Just to keep things fresh, or maybe I can let you know in the comments also if that's the case. And I think you guys mostly get the idea, because most YouTubers, I think, do the same thing. But we're now risking an hour-long episode, so I will bring this to an end. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Please do leave your support if you don't mind, if you can, if you think that I deserve it. Of course, a like always does help. But that is entirely your call if you think that is something that I need. And that is going to do it, guys. I hope you'll come back again tomorrow. New episodes so far every day. Is this 11 days and running? So I'll keep up the trend, provided you guys keep liking on things, keep enjoying them, keep letting me know that you're enjoying them, and we'll take it from there. So thanks so much, and I will see you later.